All right, we're live. And Meredith is here. We're actually a minute late. Sorry about that, everyone.
Where's my microphone?
Right at your feet. Your foot is touching it.
Oh.
Here
I am.
So it's been a little bit of time.
And here's my cough.
Right, yeah, cough is back. All right. So tonight we're going to be drawing Swamp Thing versus Man Thing, which should be an absolute blast. I saw we have Rich Friend here. My thumbnail actually for this is really the one time I got to draw a Swamp Thing was from an issue that Rich inked. And so the thumbnail is actually by me and Rich. So it was very cool to see him here. And, you know, he did a beautiful job on it. So I was very happy to pick that picture for a thumbnail. There are times I've drawn a character, but really never well. And I end up using somebody else's anyway for the thumbnail. So it's nice to have a nice picture. And I wanted to use a black and white version of it too, because it really showed off the inks well. So yeah, here we go. Okay, I'm going to get started.
Anthony G says, new glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the dog, he got 2 new pairs of glasses and the dogs have already eaten one.
I put him in a place where it's pretty safe. They've been leaving my glasses alone for, oh, not a person is here. It says, hey, Dave. Brad Scott Art is here. Emilio Cabrera, Paul Floyd, Ross Klein is here. Okay, anyway.
Everyone's here. I
think they were new, so the dogs were more interested in them. Next thing you know, I had them for a week, and these were my spare pair, and so at least I have glasses. All right.
Anthony says, such is the life of a pet parent.
Yeah, you know, and I love the dogs, but they don't come free.
Yep. Henry Jermick wants to know if we found the cat.
Okay, yeah. I'll leave that to you.
So thank you for allowing me to be absent a couple of weeks ago to look for the cat. Unfortunately, we did find the cat. He
not that night, but
not that night. We found this past a week ago this past Sunday. We could go yesterday. We found him, and he was out wandering on the lam for 9 days, and he used up, I think, pretty much a life a day, crossing back and forth over highways where people drive 80 kilometers an hour. And on his way home, because he was in a direct line from our back door, he used up his last life. So we were very sad. We lost Stormy. But he left a lasting impression in the short time we had him. Yeah. He was a free spirit.
He was. So.
Yeah. We're not allowed to talk about it with Isaac because he and I spent the last week crying about it. So.
Yeah, it was a heck of a time around here. That's for sure.
We're not having much luck out here. I mean, to be fair, Patches was old and had cancer, but Stormy was he burned hot and fierce.
He was a young cat.
He was only a year, and he would not be contained. He was just wild. So he was absolutely, Kevin Wolf says, a candle that burns twice as bright. Like, he was just so loving, so friendly, so affectionate, but just so needing to be active. Like, he just, so yep. I think we all take comfort in the fact that he was on his way home. Like, he was near the house. So he knew where to come to come home, and he knew where he was loved, and he had a heck of a time having fun because I got sightings of him, and he was far. He was wandering.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and we searched everywhere around here
I set cat traps multiple times. I caught a raccoon in a storm. Poor little raccoon. I went the next morning and he's like soaking wet, sleeping in the cat trap. But yeah. Supersonic, only the good die young. So true. I mean, I'm gonna live forever.
That's the good news.
The good news is, if that's the truth, I'm gonna live forever. Nothing good about me here. All right. So now that we know that, let's move on to fun stuff. Like, Dave's new dog eating glasses. And JDSTT says the glasses are spectacular. Haha. Jamal Rashid is here with the super chat for $4.99. Finch Squad. Hey guys, really happy to see you guys. Sorry about Stormy. My wife, I can't talk. My wife wanted to say that, but hey, God is good and drawing is great. Let's go. God is good because I prayed for Stormy to come home. And when your cat leaves in the county, there is no guarantee you're going to get that cat back.
I thought we would, though.
Well, we did get him back. Unfortunately, God answers prayers. He doesn't always answer them the way you think he should. But we like to find him outside our house and knowing he was coming home is a huge comfort for us. And he could have just easily been taken by an eagle or hit by a car a mile away because he went far, or eaten by a coyote because they're around here too. So
yeah.
There you go. Next super chat comes from SCS Powerlifting for $5. SCS says, sorry for your loss and happy you're back, Meredith. Thank you, SCS. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And I do appreciate all the people saying that they're sorry about Stormy. It's tough. So Kevin P. West says he was named properly then, and he was. He was named properly. You guys named him 100% accurately. No Stormy tribute art. No. I'll have. Do you know how many animals I have on this farm? I can't do tribute art every time one of them dies. We have so many chickens. And we're gonna. Oh, here we go. Dave and I talked about this today. We're going to be fostering. Are you ready? Dun, dun, dun. An 8-month-old pot-bellied pig.
For a week.
Or 2. She said a week or 2. No, I said a week or 2. I did say a week or 2.
I said a week.
Or 2.
You said a week.
Or 2. That's it. That's it. He's not
it's
staying.
Fine, a week or 2. I'm just saying
not staying.
That's not what you said. That's so not what you said.
He's not staying. He's not living here. But you know who is living here? The 6 new chickens I'm picking up tomorrow. Woo woo. Woo woo chickens tomorrow. I'll post pictures on the Finch Flock page. So excited about the new chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin P. West wants to know if it was an indoor pig. I don't know. All I know is that our neighbor around the corner from us is starting an animal sanctuary, mostly for roosters, because nobody wants a rooster. So, but she's also going to take other farm animals, and she's got 3 pigs she's going to be taking, and 2 of them, I guess, don't need homes right away, but this one does. And pardon me, she's not quite set up, so we are going to help her out for a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks.
Happily help out for a week. It's
a pot-bellied pig. It will not be bacon. It is castrated, being said.
Meanwhile, we got 2 lambs that,
that could be Easter dinner, not for this year, but next year. They're so cute, though. Thing about lambs, and I'm not going to regret it when we're done with them and we sell them at the fair, because lambs aren't like cats and dogs and chickens or horses. They don't seem to be as of yet. They only care about you for the food. So far.
The minute they care about Meredith any more than that, all of a sudden
then they'll be neutered and they'll stick around. They'll stick around too. But the chickens, like, they see me and they come for me. They're like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Mama." And I can call them and they come.
I put the chickens away tonight, and 2 of them got around behind me and they ran around outside the coop, and I just went and picked them up. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but the one lamb just runs. Like, you can barely touch them. They don't like to be touched.
No, they don't.
So, I mean, they're not pets. Sheep are food, not friends. Isn't that the sharks from Finding Dory? Fish are friends, not food.
Yeah,
But I'm reversing it
right.
because I'm evil, which is
Yeah.
why I'm going to live forever.
There you go. Oh, by the way, I want to say the next video, which should have been out a little bit ago. I thought we'd have it out well over a week ago. It is finished now. Finally, we had a bit of a snafu with the editing. I didn't include a file I was supposed to include, and by the time we got that sorted out, anyway, it will be up tomorrow. Promise. Finally. Oh, and also I just finished another page for Proco. Actually, let me show you guys. I'll show you the page.
Watch my water, hot water. Don't. Extreme maybe says we should name him Bacon. I don't know that we get naming privileges when we're only fostering.
So this is the next Proco page. Now, yeah, these kinds of pages, truthfully, this was a tough page. It's got 6 panels on it, and there's a lot going on. And it's more fun to draw just a big shot of a superhero, by far. But you learn so much more doing these kinds of pages, and so I felt like there's a lot of really good information in there. And I just finished this week. I've sent the files to Proco, so they're going to be editing them. This will be up on their site very, very soon. And I've got one more page coming, which I think is actually going to be more of a headache to draw than this one. So, but anyway, there you go. This one just got finished, narrated all the way through. It was fun, and it's actually been a long time since I've drawn a page really like this. So anyway, there you go. That's the next one.
Dan Lassard has a super chat for $5. Dan says, I want to know where in the house you're hiding the raccoon. I let the raccoon go. There, I draw the line at wild animals, except for Dave and Isaac.
Yeah,
and Everett.
We
and
felt
Hayden.
guilty and let it go.
Yeah,
we weren't out
I
there
turned
trying
it
to
right
capture
back
some-
where it was. Yeah, I wasn't trying to catch it.
We weren't trying to catch some poor raccoon and trap it all night.
No,
How
I
that
felt
played out.
I was hoping to catch my cat. John D. Harvey says roosters should be popular with the neighbors. John, we are the neighbors.
We are, and we can hear the rooster now. It's distant.
They're far enough away that it kind of just feels like being on a farm.
It does.
I don't
I
think
don't know.
roosters have a long life. She lost one of her roosters already. It's unfortunate.
Oh, and Dan.
Dan Lassard, yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show you this, Dan. I was painting with Eric last night. We painted Harley Quinn. Eric's turned out great. I don't know if he's posted it up yet. I don't know if he's finished yet, but mine, I finally had to cut bait. And I'm embarrassed to show this, but I'm just, whatever, I'm going to show you guys.
It's important to show that sometimes it doesn't always work out.
This is what happened. My airbrush got clogged. I was using acrylic paint. I tried a few different things. I even tried airbrush paint, but it just kept getting clogged and I couldn't get it to come out. And I kept thinking, oh, it's going to start. And anyway, I cleaned out my airbrush like 4 times. I think it might be trashed. So yeah.
No, it cannot be trashed.
No, I'm going to fix it. But yeah, what a mess. And yeah. But I also, let me just,
I mean, it doesn't look awful.
Oh, it
does. The drawing is good.
This is the one that I did just before that. It's a Wolverine picture. And it's the same process, except that I actually was able to finish because the airbrush didn't break on me. So yeah, the airbrush works. Like I'm happy with it, but wow, I could not get that picture last night to work. So yeah, we need help, Dan. We need Dan to come paint with us.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Tegmo Model Works has a super chat for $5. Tag says, "Hey DNM, been a long day. Mondays, right? Gonna relax and watch someone else work." Me too. Tag me too. What are you doing? You aren't ready.
All right.
All right. Where am I? The 3 Eyebrows has a super chat for 25 Philippine. I think it's PLN is Filipino dollars.
Poland.
Hey, Poland. Oh,
yeah, 3 Eyebrows. He's from Poland.
oh, there. That's right. There you go.
Well, he's in Poland. He's not originally.
Oh,
from
that's
Poland.
right. Yes, that's right. Hey guys, great to have you back. On a more positive note, did you get a chance to see Moon Knight yet? Am I allowed to tell the truth?
No.
No, we have not seen it.
But I will. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
When he gets over pouting.
Okay, look, I didn't get a credit. I was mad, so I didn't watch it this week. I'll watch it.
It's all right. You have so many credits and stuff that I'm like, why did you get a credit in that?
I wanted a Moon Knight credit.
I'm sorry, honey.
And I mean, it's not like who knows if they ever used anything. Obviously, they didn't use anything from the run that we did, but you know, I like Moon Knight. So
I know he's your favorite Marvel character.
I was hoping it still could happen in another episode, but who knows?
Henry Jeremick says to me, Meredith, can you please remind Dave this drawing is in full pencils? Or it was. Not anymore. It's not.
Yeah, no, I did not have plans to do it in pencils.
Sorry, Henry. It's too much work for pencils.
Well,
He'll do another pencil piece.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm always reluctant to do pencils because what ends up happening is somebody wants to buy the picture and then they want it inked.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that has happened to me every time I've done pencils without fail. Marvel used a Wolverine that I did in pencils as a cover. They ended up getting it inked by someone else, and they did a great job. I mean, I really couldn't complain. So, but yes, it's doing pencils is a problem for that reason. That's not to say I'm not going to do pencils. I will keep doing pencils, but and truthfully, I just totally forgot. I would have done this pencil, I guess. But yeah.
Jay wants to know if you like to drink liquor before you draw, to get the creative juices flowing. Dave does not.
No, I don't think drinking liquor gets the creative juices flowing. I think it numbs your brain. It makes it difficult to think.
So he definitely does not drink before he draws. And he would not do the drink and draws for that very reason.
Well, I'd do the drinking draw. I just would skip the drink.
You do the draw, the drink and the Coke.
Yeah, and look, it's not like I'm somehow against drinking or anything like that, obviously within reason. But no, it does not mix for me with artwork. And I draw all the time, so I don't have a lot of time to be going around being drunk or drinking. I don't go around being drunk at all, but I don't have a lot of time to drink.
All right. Next super chat comes from Rose Illustrates for $1.99. Anyway, I could go live with you on my phone. No, I don't think so. I don't know what I don't know what that means. Like to have a private chat with Dave? Is that what Rose Draws means?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we don't have time. We are very busy and sorry, that's not available unless you did it through the Kickstarter, in which case, but Dave puts out tons of tutorials and hopefully the tutorial can help you with whatever you need help with.
I formally put out tons of tutorials. Lately, I've been a little...
But you still have a ton of tutorials out there.
I do. And, the next one should be a little sooner. I'm already on it, doing clothing folds, and then I'm going to do hair, and then the next part for perspective. I have never... There's one time I did 2 videos in a row. Like it was drawing backgrounds and 1 point perspective. I did part 1 and part 2. I've got a bunch of part 1s up there that I've never done part 2.
All right.
But you know what? It gives me goals.
Hey, Outpost 48 has a super chat for £5. €5. He says, hello. I follow Dave's advice for drawing something I struggled with week by week. And in a week, I got so much better at drawing women than I was. Thank you. So there you go. Rose Illustrates, take Outpost 48's advice. Who took Dave's advice for drawing.
Well, thank you. I feel like right now, and I know that it was the airbrush that I was really struggling with, but regardless, I'm very afraid of painting women. I don't know. It's like a mental block. I feel like it's going to end up not working out. We'll see.
Brad Scott Art has a super chat for $10. Thinking about doing a comic completely using 3D modeling. The creator in me thinks it would be cool. The artist in me thinks not so much. Either way, I'd be doing all the work. Thoughts? And Miss Meredith rocks.
Actually, it's interesting that you say that, Brad, because my artist of the week, and I'm drawing Swamp Thing versus Man Thing, and so that means I'm going to have to do Bernie Wright's Swamp Thing. That is actually going to be next week. My artist of the week this week. I really kind of wanted to show you guys. This is an artist that we'll get there. It's an artist that I think a lot of you would be familiar with anyway, but I'm really interested in the way that artists are using a lot of 3D in their work, and I don't think that it's a bad thing at all. I think that it's a tool like any other, and if you can use it well, I think it's great. So, I certainly wouldn't look at it and think, oh well, this is less art. I mean, we're illustrating here, and you look at the stuff Marvel Studios is putting out, like the What If stuff, and there's all kinds of 3D in the backgrounds for that kind of thing, and it looks great. And I certainly wouldn't look at that and think, oh, gee, that's not really art. I think it really comes down to what you do with it. And go. She's yawning.
I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I did not sleep well last night. Like some nights I sleep great. And then last night I just couldn't sleep. And then I yelled at Everett because he and his friends came in the back door like a herd of elephants. He's like, don't yell at me. You were already awake. Which, to be fair,
you were.
I was. He's like, we didn't wake you up. You were already awake. And he's not wrong. Then I'm irritated that I'm awake. So now I'm irritated that you're making me more irritated.
You're irritated at me for saying you were yawning?
No. I was irritated
at
at
Everett
because they were loud, but I was mostly just irritated because I was awake.
Right.
I just couldn't sleep. I was up and down, up and down, up and down. And I cracked I think it partly is because I cracked the window last night and it got really cold outside.
You'd think that would help you sleep.
You think, but I was cold.
Okay.
You can't sleep when you're cold.
Fair enough.
So there you go. What are you going to do? What is this man? Is that Man Thing that you're drawing right there?
Right now I'm drawing Swamp Thing. Man Thing is here.
What's the difference between Swamp Thing and Man Thing?
One is kind of a creative response to the other.
Did you say one is a creative response to the other?
Yeah.
Are they two different, like one's Marvel, one's DC?
Yes.
Okay, so they look the same.
Right.
Basically drawing the same character.
No. One is a creative. It sounds nicer than saying knockoff, right?
Okay. It does. So who was first? Swamp Thing or Man Thing?
Swamp Thing.
Empire Vol says Man Thing is cooler.
And that's how it goes.
D.A. Robin says Man Thing's getting the smack laid down on him.
He is here, but you know what? The thing is, and I could say that he's a knockoff.
Supersonico says one is a man, the other is a thing. Totally different.
But it's not fair for me to say that anyway. Because look, any knockoff character, if they don't have anything going for them, they disappear. So, Man Thing is a very cool character.
Very funny.
I mean,
so is Man Thing your favorite? I've never seen you draw Man Thing. You've never drawn Man Thing.
Okay,
before.
Swamp Thing is my favorite.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it this way. I'm drawing Swamp Thing right now. Man Thing is in front.
Rich Ware says Man Thing is a human that became a thing, and Swamp Thing is a vegetation.
So there you go.
There you go. Man Thing is a thing. Is a man that became a thing. Spirit Retro has a super chat for £5. Spirit says, meow. Hi, Dave and Meredith. Actually dived in and sketched almost an entire intro book from mock-up to get my ideas down. Also work digitally now. That's awesome. almost an entire entry book to get my ideas down. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, and you learn so much that way. You really do. It's a great way to grow. I think you can learn from looking at other people's work, and I certainly like doing that. Obviously, I think it's important, but you really learn the most sitting down and doing it. It's when you struggle with something and can't get it to work. I'm gonna have to pull out the pencil here because I don't know what I had go down here.
If Man One says Man Thing was first by a month.
Oh, see, there you go. Shows what
You
I
don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
And by the way, here's my problem. I say by the way a lot. I look at the pictures. Like truthfully, Swamp Thing, I'm a huge fan. I love Swamp Thing. I love it for Bernie Wrightson, and I know there's Alan Moore Swamp Thing. I tried it. Another artist recommended it, and I know it's good, but it just seemed like Smart People comics to me, and I couldn't really get into it.
Dave doesn't do smart people stuff.
No,
he does the dumb people stuff.
That's right.
Because he's dumb. Just kidding. I love you. Everybody, Art9 says, Man Thing is very large and beefy character. He needs to be a little bigger. Say that to Dave, please.
Okay, I'll make him bigger.
He's not the only one. I think Henry Jeremick said that too.
Okay, before I move on with this, I'll make him much bigger.
Wayne Blackman has a super chat for $10. Wayne says, Hi, Finch Flock. Welcome back, Meredith. I was going to ask for full pencils too. I guess, Dave, you need to do full pencils next week. Dave, how do you create the line surrounding your Etrigan and Batman piece? Thank you so much.
The line?
The lines surrounding your Etrigan and Batman piece.
I don't know.
What piece is your Etrigan and Batman piece?
I don't know. That's the problem. I'm sorry. I mean, that would have been a picture that I would have done.
I'm going to try to Google it, Wayne, so I can show him. Hold on.
10 years ago. Okay.
I'm typing in Finch, Etrigan, Batman. I think it's this one.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. You know, we discussed that. Now, I'm going to say, if you're looking at the inks, that was it was either Danny Meeky or Scott Williams, and I'm not sure. Might have been Scott Williams. But in terms of pencils, and we did talk about this a couple weeks ago, so here would be my page. I'd find a perspective point here.
I knew which piece it was.
Get out my ruler. It's not the best ruler to do this with. And just start to rule in some lines. And you can see I already missed my point, but you know it's small. And if you're an inker, you're stuck with this. This is what you pretty much have to do all the way through. I want some closer together. I want some a little further apart. And I just go around the whole picture. If you're a penciler, once I have enough of that in there, I can start to fake in some other lines because I know the inker has to actually figure this stuff out cleaner. So, but that's really all I would do. And then I would just use my, by the way, I say by the way all the time, I got a new eraser. I finally got one of these little ones. I had these, I just didn't have one for a bit. And then I would just take this and kind of roll it around, especially at a larger size. It just erases some out and creates some nice kind of crackly texture in there. So that's it.
I'm watching you do it.
Okay.
So Nada Doyle says Alan Moore made Swamp Thing more like a god of the swamp who controls the swamp greenery, and Man Thing just burns things with his touch. I like Swamp Thing better.
I like Man Thing better now.
Because Man Thing just destroys.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the god of destruction.
I am the god of, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Destruction.
All right, there you go. He's bigger.
They're both swamp monsters, so there's that.
Yeah. Next week might end up being a bit of a longer week too. And so we might end up in a Meredith goes to bed situation. It's possible, but I want to do Man Thing and the tree, and I want to do like a nice swamp around them.
You need to
And
do the tree during the week.
No, because I want to do it with everybody. So what I'll do, and it's fine if you go to bed at 10. We'll just see if Eric is around.
Basically, what you're saying is I'm disposable now.
It's really not what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying. You're saying that I missed 1 week looking for the cat, and Eric filled in, and now I'm disposable. You can just have the stream continue without me. It doesn't matter. I don't.
We can't do it without you, but I can't do the tree with you.
You're saying that. I just
see what
heard
I'm saying,
you say
right?
it.
We can't do it without
No
you. But
subtext there. Just flat out said it. Meredith can go to bed, and I'll do the. Eric will fill in. You're already getting ready for the summer, and it's only April.
If it makes you feel better, I'll do the tree, and we'll have nobody watching but me and Eric.
Okay.
Because you've left. So
yeah, I want everybody to leave when I leave. You guys heard it. When I go, everybody goes. Just the way it works. I need to feel the love. I don't get out anywhere. Cross Contour says, nobody puts Meredith in a corner. Dark Era New Vegas says, you'll never win, David.
No. I know.
Shaughnessy Blakely says, all I heard is Dave knows we want to see the happy tree. The happy little tree.
Yeah.
Nada Doyle. Dave's putting Meredith to bed. It did feel that way, Nada. It did. Meredith will go to bed, and then I'll do this.
Okay, well, you can stay up. I'd be more.
Well, you won't draw the tree now. You have to do it on night 3.
That's the thing. I can't do a whole night for a tree.
How to draw a tree. I guess there won't be a tree.
You're whispering. I don't think anybody. I know I can't hear you anyway.
It's because you're deaf. I'm apparently too loud in this thing. You turn me way down.
Did I? You're too loud?
I knew you tell me that all the time.
Oh, okay. So no one's saying that.
No.
All right.
Allison McGlone says, Meredith Finch, it sounds like you're getting the boot. Well, I'm out. See, solidarity.
I thought Allison was my buddy.
No, extreme maybe. Yes, dear. Right away, dear. Exactly. Oh, dear. All right. Danny Castelli, reeling us out of the dark with the super chat for $1.99. Hey, guys, this is looking great, Dave. I knew he was not saying that to be, funny, but he did pull us out of the dark. Random Pat has a super chat. Thanks, Daniel. It has a super chat for $5. Happy Monday, Dave and Meredith. Just stopping in to say hi. Dave, did you catch the first episode of Moon Knight? I know you were planning to draw him around then.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing the second part of this one next week, and then I'm going to draw Moon Knight right after that. I knew I really wanted to kind of wait until the show came out, and then we had talked about drawing this one. So, so Meredith, you saw F1 this weekend. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, totally. Cars went around and around on the track.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Big win for...
They went vroom, vroom. Hey, I'll tell you who had a big win today.
Who?
Isaac, who won a bag of Tootsie Rolls at school because he picked one of the final two teams in the basketball, NBA basketball.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He's never watched a game in his life.
I said, this is what I said to him. I'm like, what do you know about basketball? He's like, how did you pick a team that when it made it to the final 2? He's like, well, I looked at what their strengths were and their weaknesses, and I figured out who would be the best team. Like, I've never seen you watch basketball. He's like, I watch it on the weekends.
He told you he watches it on the weekends.
I know he totally lied. I don't even care. He at least knew what to say to make it a believable lie.
Wow.
Even if it's a fully like it's a lie.
Yeah.
He does not watch basketball ever.
I've never
He
seen him watch.
totally. But if I didn't know that,
Yeah,
I would totally believe him. That kid he's either going to be a politician or a salesman.
Well, there you go. So
Craziness.
He won candy.
Yeah, he won candy and he lied to his mother about not how he won, but how he picked the winner that he won with.
Right. His method of winning.
His method of winning. Reason why he won. So funny. D.A. Robin says, I haven't dropped in on a Monday night draw in a while. I forgot how great it is. Thanks for this stuff, Dave.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I miss it. And we haven't done it for... Now, I did have Peter on for a...
I wasn't here for that. That was not a Monday night draw.
Yeah, that
was a Thursday night thing.
Right.
The Thursday night thing.
So
Thursday
it
thing.
hasn't
Get
been...
it? Get the alliteration?
Yeah, it hasn't been 2 solid weeks, but I will say...
He's just ignoring me.
Yeah, I am. That I signed on to YouTube today, and I thought, look, I have not looked at YouTube in like weeks. I forgot I even have a YouTube channel. Been so busy with other stuff. I feel like I've let it go.
Craziness. Ross Klein says, all the best pickers never know anything about basketball. So funny.
I watched the show on Netflix where, they have people that actually can pick pretty well, like better than a coin toss. And they all get banned from casinos. They're called sharps. And then there are all these people online.
What they do actually illegal?
No, but casinos don't want to lose money, and they can, refuse service to anyone.
I guess so.
And then there are people online that like sell picks. So, they're experts and they make millions and millions, and they're going to sell their picks to you so you can benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that works out very much.
Nope. Alessandro Creppa wants to know if we're excited to watch Canada on the World Cup. Yeah, we are. Canada made it in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's going to be
very exciting.
Amazing. I can't believe
so
it.
Much fun.
I think we have Belgium. It's our first team that we're...
When's the first game?
It's November.
Oh, it's not for a while.
Yeah, it's a little while, but
I can relax.
Amazing. Soccer is getting huge here. Like, we were a joke, Canada, in soccer not that long ago, but Canada is different than it was when I was a kid. I mean, we have so many more people from countries that soccer is a big deal. And also, kids here, like our kids grew up playing soccer, something that nobody did when I was young. It just wasn't a thing. So everybody played t-ball when I was young. Now kids play soccer. So, put those two things together, we have, a much better soccer team. So I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, we might make it through the first round.
Yep.
Artsy Bible Nerd has a super chat for $20. Artsy says, hi, Dave and Meredith. This might be the last time I catch you live because of my new job. Thank you for all of the training, tutelage, etc. I have become a much better artist than before, and I am in your debt.
Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations on the new job, but I'm so sad that we won't see you.
Yeah.
Stay in touch on the Finch Flock page. We can still see your stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's always a little sad when,
people go to have school.
People have lives and we don't see them for a while.
That don't revolve around us. That's the worst.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess you put it that way.
That's why I'm the funny one.
Yeah.
Skull Nasher says it's called football, Dave, not soccer.
Is it really not soccer though?
It's only soccer in North America.
Is it? Like, that's not
literally everywhere else. It's football. And football anywhere else is American football.
Okay, so I have to ask this though. If you went to
Brazil and said, I want to play football, they'd get out a soccer ball.
No, I understand that, but if you said soccer, they wouldn't look at you like you're crazy. Like
Yeah, they
would
would. They'd
still
be
know
like,
what you meant, right?
What's that?
Really? I don't know. I don't think so.
What's soccer? They'd say, they'd make fun of you. Outpost 48 has another super chat for €2. Maybe draw Alphonse Davies in a Monday night draw.
Thank you very much. I don't know what that is.
Alphonse Davies. Who that is. What that
Oh, sorry,
is.
who? Right.
Okay, Google it. It's a Canadian football player.
Oh, okay. I'm a big fan.
He's football/soccer.
See?
Alphonso Davies.
They even say right there /soccer, don't they?
No. It says here Canadian football player. But then it says Alfonso Boyle Davies is a Canadian professional soccer player. I did the slash.
There you go. It is soccer.
He's regarded as one of the best fullbacks in the world due to his pace, dribbling, and creativity.
Oh, Nick from Detroit's here. Late. Genevesi's here. And Miguel Robertson says it's soccer in Australia too, so shows what you know. Although it's hard to count Australia though, because they have rugby. Nobody understands that game. I mean, I like rugby, don't get me wrong, but I don't understand what is happening. And rugby is actually better than cricket, which I'm pretty sure they just make that up as they go along.
You just are defending people all over the place tonight.
I'm offending people.
What did you have with your dinner? Offending me, banning me from the stream next week, offending people who play rugby and cricket, which is a hugely popular game.
Nobody's taking me seriously.
Everybody's taking you seriously. They're all offended. Senior grouchy pants over here.
I'm really not feeling grouchy. I think if I'm grouchy, then I'm much less likely to be offensive, apparently.
I get you think you're being funny.
Yes, that's the problem.
Don't make the jokes.
That is the problem.
It's not your
I'm
forte.
cracking myself up.
It's not your forte.
No one else.
No, only you. Dark Aaron New Vegas says, nobody understands cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
What's a crumpet? It's like a pastry.
Are you kidding?
It's a pastry, right? Oh, okay. So I was right.
It's not really a pastry, though. It's more like a biscuit.
So it's like a English or a Irish.
By biscuit, I don't mean cookie.
What's the pudding?
Like a tea biscuit.
Yeah, what's the pudding you always make? With like steak.
Yorkshire pudding?
There you go.
It's not like a Yorkshire pudding.
So it's like a Yorkshire pudding.
But it's not like a Yorkshire pudding. Extreme maybe said the crumpet is like a pancake. Oh,
okay, so
that doesn't sound right. Let's Google it.
I think that's a crepe.
That's a crepe. A crumpet is basically an English muffin.
Okay.
You know what an English muffin is?
A crumpet.
Help me out here. You know what an English muffin is, right? You get it at Tim Hortons.
So what we're saying right now is that you said a crumpet is an English muffin. You asked me what an English muffin is. I said a crumpet, and somehow I'm wrong. Yes, okay, look, I know what an English muffin is.
Why are you so difficult? Richard M8422 says crumpet is like a bread cake. You toast it and put butter on it. Like what we call an English muffin in Canada, which you can get your sausage and egg on at Tim Hortons.
All right.
As your breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
They say, do you want on a biscuit or an English muffin? Crumpet.
Show of hands. Who cares?
This is the way tonight's going.
I don't know why I just raised my hand.
Because you're the worst tonight. What is happening here? Oh my gosh. I thought our house was haunted for a minute.
Yeah. He does it on purpose.
He does. He makes it as obnoxious as he possibly can when he shuts the door. All right, where are we at here?
So I'm drawing some Man-Thing too. I'm going to do the outline because I'm hitting a point where they're going to kind of conflict.
You need Man-Thing to be able to do Swamp Thing.
That's right.
You got till 10. Do what you want to do between now and 10.
I think I'm in pretty good shape. It's only 8:46.
8:46.
I swear, it feels like it's just rolling past fast. Like, it was a good thing taking a week off because I was a little tired. Sometimes you just have to.
You were burnt out.
Yeah.
Like hard burnt out.
Yeah.
You needed the week off.
Yeah, I really did.
I even tried to ban him from Eric.
Yeah, see, the problem is I look forward to it because we're painting, and that's kind of my obsession right now.
Sorry, Eric, I love you, but
Yeah,
you
she
burnt out hard.
I told him you tried, actually. He knows.
So he's not offended. He still loves me. Or he's going to pretend so.
I wouldn't say he loves you, but he's not offended.
I'm impossible not to love. You love me.
Yes. Yes, I love you.
You don't love anybody.
Of course, come on.
Aside from yourself. I'm kidding. No. No, I'm the one who thinks she's funny and not funny. Pizza Monster Art says there are cricket games that can last for literal days.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
Well, you know what? Golf is that way. So
golf can't last for days.
It sure can. They have round 1, round 2.
Oh, sure, that's different though. I think
it's all the same.
They plan it that way.
You don't win until you. So no, I don't think it's. Look, I don't think they're playing cricket at 3:00 in the morning. If they're playing cricket at 3:00 in the morning, I'll say it's different than golf. I was actually in New Zealand, and I was at a bar. This is a long time ago now. This would have been 2004, I guess. Maybe. Anyway, it was a while, and we were watching cricket, and somebody was trying to explain it to me, and I was trying very, very hard to understand, and I could not figure it out. Now, I mean, I know, given a little bit of time, I'm sure I could. And it was not the best place to try and learn cricket. It's like a crowded bar, but
John D. Harvey says, in terms of slow sports, cricket makes golf look like a roller derby.
I like slow sports. You know what? Maybe I should be giving cricket more.
Maybe you should,
because I actually really do like slow sports. I like golf. And I haven't watched for a little while. I was a big fan with Tiger Woods. I'm such a fair weather fan. Anyway, they're quiet. Everybody whispers. I can just kind of get work done.
Is that what you like?
Yeah.
Dan Tua, I hope I said that right, Dan. I'm sorry. I don't know if that I did. Has a super chat for $5. Just saw your Wolverine post on Instagram, and wow. When can you show us how it's done on stream? I use acrylic ink for colors and would love to add airbrush. When are you going to paint? Because Vincent Houston wants to know that too. When will you be doing the painting stream?
Thank you very much. And we're going to be doing it very soon. I want to remind you guys of this. So we're still working things out, and we still it's heartbreaking when things just go wrong. Now Eric is having no trouble right now. Like, he's got it down. I think I'm going to talk to Dan Lassard, and I think I'll be fine. But yes, I'd like to do it. Let me just commit right now. Thursday next week. That's if Eric can do it too. So Eric, he's here, right? So yeah, if Eric can do it, we'll do it Thursday night next week. If not, we'll pick another night like close. And it's gonna be a tough one. It might be long. My airbrush makes a little bit of noise, and I kind of end up back and forth. Like it's not going to be the smoothest stream, but I really do want to show you guys exactly everything that we're doing, and I think there's a lot of value to that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Rose Illustrates has a super chat for $4.99. Rose says, I'm illustrating Powerpuff Girls, even though there's the original Teen Titans, and I haven't seen Teen Titans in 10 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the Powerpuff Girls.
I'm not as familiar. Did you watch Powerpuff Girls when you were young?
No.
So how do you?
I just know them.
So you've never actually watched?
I haven't, but they're so cute.
Yeah, they are very, very cute. Isaac was into that for a little
Yeah.
while. If it's cute, Isaac was into
it for a little bit.
So I have actually seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, there you go. Mako Church has a super chat for $5. Hey, Dave and Meredith, happy Monday. Dave, can you draw a Titan from Attack on Titan?
Yes, for sure. Actually, that's something I'd really like to do. And I'm a fan, so I'd like to do that for sure.
Just letting you know, Navy Shark says, whoa, that Harley is beautiful. And Paul Floyd says, that's a beautiful Harley Quinn. So you may think it's awful, but nobody else does.
Thank you. It's I appreciate it, really. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not the strongest right now. And I mean, a big part of it is just how much of a fail I had with the airbrush.
Eric Grove says the chance of something going wrong, going incredibly pear-shaped on a painting stream is quite high. Now add airbrush. It's like skydiving without a parachute.
It is. And we're going to do it with all of you guys that come. And hopefully it will be a lot of you.
I might drink my way through that one.
Yeah. You know what?
Like drink while you draw.
I know Eric sweats during the whole thing. I'm like, I end up having to take my sweater off. I'm nervous the whole day before, especially this one, because
You're not even painting live with that one.
I'm going to be what?
I said you weren't even painting live if you're sweating before you did that one.
Which one? Oh, this one? No, I was talking about the last painting stream we did. You know, I'm not nervous when we're painting on our own. I mean, as much as I don't want it to fail, if it does, it's not the end of the world. We'll just do another one. And, you know, never show anybody the failure. But here I am showing all you guys.
Jocko's Inklings has a super chat for $4.99. Keith Giffen did layouts for 52 consecutive weekly comics. Any interest in just doing layouts? And what do you look for in inkers? Tex inked Bagley Spider.
Okay. No, I would not want to do layouts. Absolutely not. It's actually I shouldn't say that it's my least favorite. There's a lot to enjoy about it. You're telling a story. It's a big part of the job, but it is a stressful part of the job for me. I feel like it can take a lot of mental energy, and I don't like to cheese out layouts. Is that a word anymore? It used to be. I don't like to just take the easy way out. I really want to try and get it. And scripts, I feel like, okay, you have a writer that writes a script, and some of them are very, very specific, and they have things that may not be important to me when I'm reading the script, but I know are very, very important to what they're trying to get across. And more than once, I've had things that have not been important to me, but I see that it's in the script, and I feel like, okay, I want to make sure, and you can see this is why I want to draw Man-Thing in here. Oh, no, it's not working. Here we go. Now we're going pear-shaped. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm using Eric's words now. Pear-shaped. Eric says things are going pear-shaped, and he says he's on the struggle bus. Anyway,
I can hear Eric's voice say, "I'm on the struggle bus" with his accent.
Yeah, I know.
It's very funny.
Kills me.
Rose Illustrates has another super chat for $4.99. Powerpuff Girls is a late 90s show. Also drawing every chance for the whole day. And tomorrow I'm going to do Johnny Test.
Oh,
that's
nice.
A show we love.
Oh, I've seen a lot of Johnny Test.
Got a something's and a super hair. I don't know. Supercharged backpack.
Yeah, there you go.
Your sisters use them like a lab rat. I just got us totally copyright banned.
No, I'm sure you're fine with that.
Johnny. No, I won't do it. But yeah.
You know what? We haven't gotten copyright.
Not yet. but
Actually, we have. I had two.
on the stream?
No, I had two. I think three time lapse videos that I did, and I have a subscription with Daily Motion. Not Daily Motion. I think that's a Motion Array. And with the subscription comes music that you can download and put into your videos and blah, blah, blah. And it's all cut. Anyway, yeah, I got struck for stuff. And I still have not gotten around to canceling that subscription. So I got copyright strike. And I've learned, actually, there's no sense in trying to fight it. You just take it down. I had something, I bought music years
Just take the
ago.
music off it and put it back
I did.
up.
No, that's exactly what I did. I had a video that I put up years ago. I paid for the music. I got copyright struck. And so I tried to contest it. I thought, they'll sort this out. We're all on the same side here, right? Yeah, no, it did not work out. I even showed my receipt. I went through a lot of work to prove that I didn't steal the music. So, yeah.
Alessandro Kreppel says, David, don't be embarrassed to fail. I fail all the time trying to get better on drawing, and seeing a pro struggling at least shows us that it's not an easy path until you become good.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, and I also think that there's more to be learned from failing than succeeding. If you're succeeding, you don't have to adapt, and if you're failing, and I think it's
And if
actually,
you go online on the internet, there's a lot more quotes about being a failure than there are about being success.
There are, and you know what we do, Eric and I also do streams with other artists. We had Brian Stelfreeze on a little while ago, and I know Eric struggled. I struggled mightily. I don't know that my picture really worked out that well. That hand is too big. Darn it. Oh, I'm having trouble. Talk about struggling.
You're on the struggle bus.
I'm on the struggle bus.
Struggle bus. I can't do Eric's accent. Michael Lupo has a super chat for $10. Michael says, hey, Dave, I'm not sure if you remember, but you reviewed my portfolio back at Fan Expo 2019. I've been putting your advice to good use for the past 2 years and can't thank you enough. Still studying Lion Decker.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thank you very much. And thanks for letting me know. Yeah, it's a process, and it just takes, some time and patience and a lot of effort,
Dave, we have to do book of the week because Jimmy Reyes art is on. And if we don't do book of the week, I might have to leave. It's Jimmy. Jimmy's here. I got to go. Just kidding, Jimmy.
Is it time? It is time.
It's like a minute. You could go now.
Okay. Well, let me just get this hand.
Let me read Greg L. Static Arts super chat for $1.99. Greg says, hey guys, so sorry about what happened to your cat, to Stormy. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
And your sister's here tonight. Leslie says a heart.
Thank you.
Hey, Leslie. Be nice to Atomic Jinx.
I'll have to give Leslie a call.
Dan Genovese says, seeing Dave struggle is like seeing Ivan Drago bleed in Rocky 4. He's not a machine. He's a man.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's my really bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
So many times this happens. Like the hand was fine, but
and then
I wasn't.
And you messed it up.
Well, what I realized is I look back and I look at it. It was actually larger than this hand, which is way in the foreground. It's way back there. This is a real problem.
All right, do the book of the week.
Book of the week.
Solve it then.
So here we go. This is actually.
It's the book of the week. It's the book of the week.
Okay.
The book of the week.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna make up songs every week.
You gotta. So it's got a beautiful Jim Lee cover. This just came out a few weeks ago, and the artwork in this is by Dan Mora. And I wanted to talk about this one because I'm a massive fan of Dan Mora. He does all this stuff digitally, and I feel like he's one of a lot of newer artists that are really taking digital and making it its own form. And there are things that you lose not inking with a brush, I think, but then there are things that you can gain digitally. and he's got such a nice mix of both of them. Like this background here, this would all be 3D, but it's not all 3D. I can actually see places where, like this building here, and some places where he's actually drawing things in to finish out, and just into the background here. Let me zoom in a bit. I don't know that it's even really visible for you guys. But this here is digital. This is drawn. And I didn't do this, so it's not really for me to say exactly how he did what, but I mean, it seems pretty apparent to me. Looking at this is actually the same shot. It's flipped. And this right here, this grouping of buildings, you can see that he's got it here. I think it's the same. Now, look, and I'm not saying this is like oh, look, he's copying and pasting. What I'm saying is this is something that's possible working this way. It's really not possible working traditionally. And I think the quality that you get from it is incredible. And you can do the work all of yourself, which is really great. So there's that. And then I wanted to talk about his actual art, his actual figures, which I think are really, really amazing. He's got great hands, just great poses all in all. I love that figure. This is one of my favorite Batmans of all time. Like, it is such a dynamic shot. I love what he did with the cape. There's another one. Just I think it's, if not the next page, it's going to be 2 pages there. That Batman is so great. He is so good at drawing a cape. And this kind of thing, there's no digital trick for that. There's no button you can press that's going to make that possible. I mean, that's just drawing ability, and it's beautiful. A lot of this is digital here. And again, it looks so good. I can see he's done a little bit with it with just some texture, and yeah, really, really nice looking. This right here, I was looking at this. So this toggle switch here, it's the same toggle switch, all 4 of them. It's actually the same thing, and it's just copy and pasted. Something that you cannot do working traditionally. It's such a great advantage, and it looks great. And there's another really great example. This is it's like a warehouse. It looks like a vat or something here, and all of these stairs and all this stuff. Now, this is possible to do traditionally, but nobody would. I mean, it's way too much. Like I've certainly drawn warehouse type places, and I've put a ton of work into that kind of thing. I couldn't do that. It's just way too much to do, and to do that perfectly. So the advantage to it is really great, and I want to do a tutorial on how to do this properly. I have some idea, but some of the techniques that artists are using right now, I actually don't really understand. And so I'm actually really hoping over the next few months, maybe over the summer, getting, it'd be great to get Dan Moore if he'd be willing to come on, or somebody that does that kind of thing really well, and talk to us about how that's done. I think that would be really great for people. I think it's important to learn how to do it yourself, but you have to be realistic and to know that modern comics nowadays, this is how this stuff is done. And if you're looking for work, which I know a lot of you are, I think this is an important skill to have. So it's something I want to cover on the channel soon. Beautiful Superman figure. Like, all of his figures, I think, are just really, really dynamic, really nicely detailed, and the whole book is great. I mean, every figure that he does, I think, is great. I've been looking at his stuff on Instagram for a while, and I started buying his stuff at the comic store, and I'm just a massive fan. So I kind of want to share this with you guys. It's a different kind of a style than what George or Jorge Jimenez is doing, and they use similar tools, and it's digital, but I feel like he's one of the best, and I think probably the most influential artists nowadays doing this kind of work. And I also think it's really refreshing to see something really new and fresh coming into the medium. I feel like we went for a long time where I wasn't really seeing a lot of that. You see things here and there, but I feel like a lot of artists are coming in and doing this kind of work and really bringing things further, which is amazing to see. Look at that figure. It's beautiful. Some of it actually even reminds me of John Romita Jr. here and there, which is a massive compliment, I think. Be very interested to find out what his influences are. This is 3D here. This is 3D here, and beautifully done. And I could spend hours on that. It would not be as nice, and I drive myself crazy and end up hating drawing those kinds of pages. So Anyway, that is the book of the week. It is Dan Mora, written by Mark Waid, with a cover by Jim Lee. There you go.
That was the book of the week. That was the book of the week. That was the book of the week. Book of the week. What are you going to do, Dave?
Wait
I
for you
gotta
to
do
stop. Pretty much that's what I do.
Yeah, no, I'll never stop. I mean, at this point, my bad singing is just part of the show.
You just say that.
I sing badly.
You make these proclamations. It doesn't make them true.
It totally does. Because I'm making my bad singing part of the show. What I say, and it shall be so.
Yeah.
Navy.
I could stand up and run around screaming. That's part of the show.
You could. If you wanted to do that and make that part of the show, you could make it part of the show. Navy Shark says a super chat for $20. Navy Shark says, hey, Dave, Meredith, and Finch Flock. Just want to show some love. P.S. Meredith, you are the only person I know that likes Johnny Test.
There you go.
I can't help it. There's a lot of obnoxious shows my kids have watched. I kind of like Johnny Test. I don't know what to tell you.
Fairly Odd Parents. Remember that one?
Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents. I do. Were there little fairies?
Yeah. That reminds me of Johnny Test. I don't know if it's some of the same people. But...
I think it's very similar animation. Yeah. Isaac can tell you all about when the animation style changed.
Oh, he can tell you eras of Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, and any kind of TV show.
Yeah.
I think you and I were talking, in fact, about the era of Johnny Test and when the animation style changed.
Isaac is a useless historian.
Hey,
look, so am I. I mean that with the utmost respect. What's that?
Stealing your gum.
Okay.
Maybe it'll help my cough. Tegmo Model Works has a super chat for $5. Always remember, Tag says, the faster you fail, the sooner you learn. Enough said.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
like that.
Absolutely. And, it's really helpful to actually have the chance to fail with someone else. I failed on my picture last night, but I had Eric there. His was working great. And so he could tell me exactly why his was working. And so now I have a chance to fix it. Because I've tried Airbrush before and I've quit. Every time what ends up happening, I use it for a tiny little bit. It clogs. I can't get it to work anymore. And I decide it's way too much of a hassle and I stop. So I think this will be my time to actually finally get over that. And also, we've been talking to Dan Lassard, who is an incredible, not just airbrush. He does all kinds. He even does tattoo work, which is beautifully done. So he does oils. He does a lot of stuff. He's very good, and so he's been very generous in helping us too.
Eric has a quote. Eric says, Yamoka Teshu says, thirst for victory leads to defeat. Not tiring of defeat leads to victory.
There you go. I'm tired of defeat all the time. It's not good. I don't like failing, but who does, right? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Antoine Washington has a super chat for $4.99. My favorite name. Hey, Meredith and Dave. Missed the last 2 weeks because of work, but I'm here now. Missed you guys, and as always, can't wait for the final piece. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Antoine.
Yeah, happy Monday. Thank you very much.
Mentality 252 has a super chat for $5. Thanks for the Lady Death. Absolutely my favorite. And will you draw Overkill? You don't know who Overkill is.
That's what's getting me is I do know who it is, but I just can't remember right now. And you're going to say, this is what it is. I'm going to go, oh yeah, but I'm just I'm drawing a blank right now. And thank you on the Lady Death.
I'm going to guess that's Overkill.
Okay, let's see. No.
Maybe from Lady Death then?
No.
Is Overkill from the Lady Death?
No.
Is this overkill?
No.
Well, we don't know who overkill is, and then I can't help you.
Yeah, and I can't remember. What can I say? Okay.
All right. And guess what? Heather Nunez says we love your singing, Meredith.
Heather's lying to you, but she's very nice and we appreciate it. Thank you.
You like Heather's. Oh. Artsy Bible Nerd says, I almost forgot to click like. That's because I didn't tell you to click like yet. So let's do it now. Because it's after Book of the Week. It's time for my ShamWow commercial. If you have not already, click like and subscribe. Because 241,000 people cannot be wrong. 241, Dave.
Yep.
Growing like a weed. Bad weed. 482 people are watching. 486 people are watching, but only 413 of you have clicked like. I'm going to be 417. Let's see if we can get to 500 in the next 5 minutes. No, I'm just being crazy. Now I've switched from ShamWow to telethon.
Let's see if we can set an impossible goal and then make ourselves.
Hey, that's what they do at telethons all the time. We're already at 442. I don't think that 500 can be impossible in 5 minutes. Then we're only 52 people away. 52 likes, people. We can do it.
I'm waiting for you to say, when you give a like, an angel gets its wings.
No, come on, don't be silly. Dave puts his pen to the paper. 467. Rose Illustrates has a super chat for $1.99. Rose Illustrates says, Meredith, you have the voice of Avril Lavigne. From one Canadian to another. I do like Complicated. Her first album was the best, in my opinion. 478. 483. I'm doing the countdown. We are 16 people away from 500, and it has not been 5 minutes. It's barely been a minute.
All right.
487, Dave. You
Crazy.
doubt the power of the flock. Why?
I don't know.
Every time.
I know.
It never fails. The flock is strong. The force is strong. 491 people. I wish I'd marked when I actually said that, because we're at 496, and I guarantee it probably took 3 minutes. 498. 498. Now we're going to 503. Done. That was not 5 minutes.
It wasn't.
Not even close. You guys, the greatest.
Well, there's me sticking my neck out and saying that you couldn't do it.
Yeah, well,
for you.
You should do that more often so I can prove you wrong over and over again. SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5. SCS says, so happy I have a box of Kleenex by me. That angel voice chokes me up every time.
You realize that they're just messing with you, right? That's all that's happening. They're just being nice because they
jealous.
like you.
What's going on? Hey,
What's the matter?
why are there holes in your ceiling?
Where here?
Yeah.
That's a heat vent. When
Has it always been there?
When your dad and I put the drywall in,
It's always just been a hole.
I
in the
popped
ceiling?
that out. I don't know where I put it. It's out there somewhere, and so there is actually a cover for it. I'll find it. And the other one
Is a smoke detector.
It is. Yes. Don't say that out loud because I'm breaking fire code. It's a smoke detector. Also needs to be put up.
Well, that'll be up by next week. Tegamo Model Works has a super chat for $5. That's why he doesn't draw him. He can't stand defeat.
Is that Tagmo?
That's awesome. Yeah, that was Tag. Nick from Detroit wants to know how long I could hold that book of the week. No, Nick, don't tempt me. Next time I will.
Yeah, please don't.
Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. Networking is so hard right now in comics. Do you find it gets easier now that you're more established, or is it something that's a struggle? Like Meredith's cough.
It is hard.
Let me tell you,
It's hard.
it is the thing that Dave and I are the worst at.
Yeah.
We hate networking. Some people are good schmoozers. We are not.
No, it's tough. And people tend to be artistic people, and people in those fields tend to not be the best with returning email and getting it, you know, it's very difficult. I know for me, what ends up happening is I'm very goal focused. And so if I'm working on a page, I just need to get that page finished. I can't work on anything else. It's really hard for me to just stop and work on something different and then go back to something. And that kind of, means that I won't see email for a couple weeks, and it can be a real problem. And I know a lot of people are like that, but yeah, it is it's a tough business that way. And I mean, the best thing that you can do, and I mean, this is, you know, advice that just makes sense. Obviously, it's kind of apologize in advance, because what I'm going to say is, you know, if you can just get an ongoing gig where you have a good relationship with people you're already working with, it's kind of the best. Being out on the market and not sure where the next job's going to come from all the time is a tough way to go.
Dave, here, Allison hooked you up with overkill. Is this overkill?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And I knew it. And there you go. It's from Spawn.
What do I know? Say it's from Spawn.
Allison says, yep, that is overkill. Yeah. Oh, I would love to do that for sure. Yeah, I just did Spawn as a book of the week just a little bit ago, and overkill was in it.
Black, thanks, Allison. Black Tiger 001 has a super chat for $5. Sketches that inspire me the most are the early ones you showed on stream. They made you human and changed my thinking. My art goals are no longer an if, but when.
Wow, that is great. And that's the way to look at it. I imagine it can be really easy to think of it as being like a very foreign thing that is something that, you know, really different sorts of people do. And
Dave, I don't know if it's possible for you to fix this right now.
Okay, tell me.
But R9 says, Meredith, can you please say to David Finch that those trumpets on Man Thing are more large than he has done it?
Okay. Let me just erase it now so I won't forget, and I will fix it. Hold on. By erase, I mean paint over, but yeah. That way I'll have to redo it, and I won't just end up doing the same thing. Can always be fixed. I mean, there are times it's not as much fun, that's for sure.
Say it's harder than others.
If it's in this, the reason I draw it this way with just an outline is because it's so easy for me to make corrections if I have to. It's a bit of a loose picture. We need Rich Friend on this one.
Gorg says, I did click because you said so, Meredith.
Well, thank you very much from both of us. Absolutely.
Waiter Hush has a super chat for $2. Hello, DNM and Flock. 520 likes now. 600 from Hater. We're at 534. We're easily going to get 600 before the end. Anthony G says he had an overkill toy when he was a kid.
Crazy. Yeah. I was
not a kid.
Not a kid. Yeah.
Dave's an old man.
I'm going to be 50 next month.
Ooh,
I know my
Davey!
Wikipedia page, according to my Wikipedia page, I would already be I'd be turning, I think my birthday, I don't know why.
Good news. Let your Wikipedia page be wrong. Let people have all those weird facts about you that aren't true.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say this. My birthday is not actually July 1st or 4th or whatever it is in there.
No.
And I was not born in Montreal.
Nope.
And I wasn't born in 1971. I don't know where all that stuff came from. Like, who wrote it? People just made it up.
Somebody made it up.
And I don't know. I'm not
It's
fixing
all
it.
right. Nobody needs to fix it. Then they get all your passwords.
Is that right? Okay.
That's why you don't want your personal information out there. What's your mother's maiden name? What's the first car you drove? Those are all like your questions that you answered to get back to your password and reset your password.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
Aren't you glad you're married to someone smart?
Yeah, now I'll never talk about myself again. Thanks
which
a lot.
is why it's why you never answer those questions on like Facebook. They're like, oh, here's some questions, answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What was the first car you ever drove? It's literally designed to figure out how to hack your password.
Man, and I just think people are
What
nice.
university did you go to? They don't care. Oh, these are not people. These are bots.
Did you guys know that?
I'm sure they did. They're smarter than you.
I literally am the kind of person you want to get on the phone. You know?
Yeah.
We have $5 million. All you need to do is send us
1,000.
Yeah, just to, unlock it.
Yeah. Dan Genovese says Wikipedia has your birthday as July 4th, which is mine. And I was so disappointed when I learned we weren't birthday twins.
Well, we can still be.
Sorry, Dan.
In spirit.
Blast Radius has a super chat for $5. Is there a real benefit to doing these comic book studies? I might want to try it out.
Well, this isn't really a study for me because I'm just making this up. A study is when you're looking at somebody else's work or looking at life, whatever it is. And yes, there's absolutely a massive benefit to doing it. So much of what I'm doing right now, everything I'm doing right now in some way or other is from other artists. And where it's more successful, I've managed to pick up more, and where it's less successful, I probably need a little bit of work. And I've been doing this for years and years, but there are always things that I find this could be a little bit better, and I find an artist that does it better. And the only way you're going to pick it up, you can't pick it up by looking at another artist's work. You really need to try it and see how it fits, kind of under your hand. So absolutely, yes, I think it's essential, not just worthwhile. I think you can't properly grow without doing it, I don't think. And you don't want to, reluctant to say this, I don't want to ever suggest that you should have, or avoid having your own really distinct style. But there are times I've seen people that really have a real problem in looking at other people's work, and they end up with just some weirdness that it makes it really difficult to get work, not just with a mainstream publisher, but even like an indie publisher. So, there are established standards that I think you need to be aware of and try to, do your best to match. You're not going to take Dan Moore's job unless you can do a better job than Dan. And I don't know if any of us can, but the point is that you need to get there. You need to get as close as you can. And the only way you can do that is the same way he did. I swear that I can see some John Romita Jr. influence in there. And that didn't just happen from him liking John Romita Jr. Now, I'm assuming, so if I'm wrong, I apologize, but that comes from study.
All right. Henry Jeremick wants to know if I'll sing you happy birthday on your birthday. Always do.
Yeah, she always does.
Forcing on him. Russ Hicks has a super chat for $5. Russ wants to know any advice for drawing characters who aren't visually iconic. I have a commission request for Count of Monte Cristo, but I can't make him recognizable.
Count of Monte Cristo. Okay, I'm not really as familiar as I probably could be, but I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, that N.C. Wyeth did some stuff with that. And I think that would be a really good place to start. If a character, Indiana Jones is a really good example of a character that there's no iconic look to Indiana Jones. I mean, there is obviously, I know, but that was something that became iconic just because he was so popular. People loved it, and so that hat and that shirt and everything. But I don't think it was ever intended that it would be an iconic look when they did the costuming for him. You know, and some characters like that, I think that is the case. The best you can do is go with descriptions and other artists' interpretations and try and make him accurate to the source material. Um, Characters like that, like if you were to draw a comic, like a full book with Count of Monte Cristo, he would become iconic in your style. Um, like Walking Dead, I'm doing Walking Dead covers, and these characters are very iconic in Tony Moore's style and in my memory. I'm not going to remember. And I look at his stuff all the time, and I'm a huge fan, and he's a very nice guy. And anyway, whatever. The characters are very ironic or iconic in their style, and they're not really designed characters. They're just people. I don't know if that's helpful at all. I hope so. Oh, hey, Dan DeSantos is here. And he said not NC, so I think it would be his teacher, Howard Pyle. Is that right?
Mead Schaefer.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, good to see Dan here.
Christian Quinto says the Walking Dead artist was Charlie Adler.
Yes, thank you. I don't know. Look, if you guys have been watching for a little while, I have a real problem with not just names, but people
Life?
that well, thank you, loving wife.
I am your loving wife. I love you so much.
People that I know, or even just objects. A lot of times, I have such a visual memory that I just don't connect things to words, and I end up with that problem all the time. I just go blank, and especially when it's like a case like this. I'm in front of all you guys right now, and then I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to forget his name in front of a bunch of people. Then it's like, forget it, it's over. I'm kind of slowing down. I feel like
Are you?
yeah. I mean, I hate to go slow, but I don't want it to be crappy. It's catch-22. I'm gonna have to speed up, otherwise you're going to be going to bed, and I won't even have Swamp Thing finished.
Well, but you got some stuff done on Man Thing, so.
That's you know what?
Owen Summerland says Daddy Dave is looking handsome tonight. It's the new glasses, Owen.
I'm not saying thank you to that, Owen. But thank you.
You're always handsome.
Right. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I know you're a dish.
That's right.
JDSCT says Swamp Thing's ribs and abs are giving me Kelly Jones vibes.
Well, thank you. I mean, Kelly Jones got a big Bernie Wrightson influence. He really took it, his own way too. But there's definitely a lot of overlap there for sure.
And Nick from Detroit says Dave and I are the same when it comes to names and name recall.
Yeah, it's never fun when you forget names at times like that, where it feels disrespectful to do it. And disrespectful or not, there's like nothing I can do about it when it happens. It's very frustrating. Names that I'm very familiar with. And I'll also have a very difficult time ever knowing when I'm kind of losing it. So I can't remember anything now. Which reminds me, I don't know if you saw this, Meredith, but Bruce Willis is retiring.
Yeah, I saw that because he's got trouble. Yeah.
Recognizing and expressing speech, which
Yeah.
So it's very, very sad news. He's not that old. He's not young, but
No, he's not, All right. Another super chat from Lisa Escobar for $5. Lisa says, "Hey Dave, I'm here in Texas. I was super bummed you weren't going to make it to McAllen at the end of the month. I hope everything is okay." It has to do with visa,
yes.
and that is why Dave will not be there.
Yeah, unfortunately, my visa is going through right now, and we just couldn't get it processed quickly enough. It was a mad dash, and I just couldn't get it
But
done.
he'll make it up.
Yeah, I'll be there as soon as they'll have me back.
Because he was excited to go. It just taking everything. Unfortunately, is taking longer. I think this is the state of the world now. Literally, everything is more expensive and takes longer.
Yeah.
Blast Radius has a super chat for $5. What's your view of Mark Teixeira and Sam Keith's work? I love those guys during the 90s, especially Mark's Wolverine run.
Oh yeah, I'm an enormous fan of both of them. I love Mark Teixeira's Wolverine run. His Punisher or Ghost Rider work, I think, is his most iconic. I do think that the most iconic picture of the Punisher skull is from Mark Teixeira for sure, or Ghost Rider skull. I keep saying Punisher, and he's also a great painter, and he's a very funny guy. So yeah, and I've never met Sam Keith. But I'm a massive fan. I said this, I think last year I was doing a Simon Bisley study stream, and my first exposure to Simon Bisley's work was in Lobo's Back. I think it was issue 2 or 3, whichever, maybe 3, and it had a Sam Keith cover, and I bought it because I liked the cover, and I was naive. I didn't realize how comics worked at the time. So I bought it assuming, okay, well, whoever did the cover did the inside, right? It's not how it always works. And it was Simon Bisley on the inside. And I was like, oh, hey, it's a different artist. But I mean, it was Simon Bisley. I was happy. But I bought it. That was my first exposure to his stuff. I grabbed it off the shelf. And I've got we actually did it as a book of the week a little while ago. Well, maybe even 2 years ago. It's been a while. But I did Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine from Sam Keith a while ago. His Max stuff is great. He actually just did a Max book. Just had one released not long ago. Yeah, he's incredible. Something I'm going to say, and now I've forgotten. It really is all over the place for me right now.
Can't help you with that.
No.
Did you answer Russ Hicks' question about the Count of Monte Crystal?
As best I could.
Okay. Just making sure. It's kind of doing two things at once right then. So
okay.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I tried to answer, but I don't know that I don't think you can force a character into being iconic that doesn't have, like, if a character has a really wide, crazy hat, well, that makes it pretty easy. But if they're really fairly normal and they don't stand out in any obvious way, if you try and force it, unless you're doing cartooning, I think it can be detrimental. And obviously, we're all cartooning here. This is cartooning, but you know what I mean. This is a bit more of a realistic, kind of a serious tone.
You know what? I never used to hear you use the word cartooning, but you use it often now. Why do you suddenly use it more now than you used to?
I don't know. I don't think I, one day thought, hey,
Undermining what you do?
Do you think cartooning undermines what I do?
I don't know. I don't think of it as cartooning. I feel like cartooning is kind of
okay. First of all, I think that some of the greatest artists, some of the greatest illustrators of all time are cartoonists and have been cartoonists.
sure, but
Disney
I don't
artists.
consider comic art cartooning in the way.
Sure, fair enough.
Like a Herman comic is cartooning.
Herman was great stuff.
Yeah, but it's not comic art.
No, so
you know
yeah,
what I mean, like feel like it's not a fair assessment or statement about what you do.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I think you'd be better off to call yourself an illustrator than a cartoonist.
Illustrator is like a whole other thing. Illustrator to me denotes like a level of respect.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't call yourself an illustrator, but that's exactly what you do. See, and that's why you call yourself a cartoonist.
Okay, well, I have a lot of respect for cartooning.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying that I think you're undervaluing yourself.
All right, fair, whatever. Illustration. Happy?
Yes.
Good.
Now I am, because I won that argument. Like I win them all.
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of arguments you win with me saying happy?
Yep.
Good.
That's all that matters. Happy wife, happy life.
So they say.
You're still waiting? Tyler L says all comic artists are cartoonists. See? Will Eisner said comic artists were cartoonists. Frank Miller agrees.
See,
I just don't think of I think of cartoons as like something I sat down and watched for Saturday morning.
So now you're not just arguing with me, you're arguing with Will Eisner and Frank Miller.
Yeah, but I don't care.
You would have to not care in order to argue with them.
I'm totally there. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Okay, well, anyway, let's not make it a debate.
Why not? Why not make it a debate?
Nobody cares. That's why.
Fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
Rich Ware says cartoonists are valid artists. Eric Grove, I like Eric's. I'm just trying to be a good drawer.
Yeah, there you go.
Just be a good drawer.
Ultimately, and you know what? I think that's a good way to look at it. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah.
The whole goal is to just be as good as you can get. I mean, I could be called a fine artist, but if I suck, who cares? You know what I mean? So fair enough.
Luke Forwardson wants to know if I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Nope. Just Dave.
You're not going there?
Nope.
I am really looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to all of them. I'm just looking forward to being back in the States.
I just can't travel that much. I got a lot going on here. With the potbelly pig and the chickens and the baby horse and
yeah, if you wonder why I'm looking forward to going to the States.
Oh. 586 likes so far. We're going to easily hit 600 before 10.
Wow, that's great. What time is it? 9:30.
9:39. You got 20 minutes. You got lots of time.
Doing all right.
No baby goat, Sheldon Martin. Not this year. The baby sheep, which Dave has to go feed after the stream.
Every night at midnight.
Yep. But it's it's good for you because it means you go to bed every night.
Yeah.
At midnight.
That is true.
Otherwise, you stay up all hours of the night. So what's new and exciting in your life, Dave? How's the motorcycle? Have you been on it this winter?
I have a couple of times. We've had good weather sometimes, but not consistent enough. So, but yeah.
I think it's going to be nice next week.
And actually, every time I've been out on the yellow bike. So I've got my, the bigger one, the touring bike. It's a Street Glide. And I didn't have it plugged in. They have a trickle charger. and if you just leave it over the winter, obviously it just drains out. And so anyway, I had to trickle charge it, and the last 2 times we've managed to get out, I rode the night train, which is a great bike. I love it, but it has no fairing. It's more of a stripped down. It's a soft tail. It's got no fairing. Fairing is the shield in front of you, and I love that bike. It's great. It's so much fun. It's supercharged. Like it's we got a deal on it. Basically, when we bought the bike, I bought it with a buddy of mine. The son was working that day, and the father that really kind of knows the bikes better, he wasn't in, and so the son quoted us a price based on what a night train of that year is worth. It was a 2007, and ours, it's got a custom paint job. So it's got blue flames. It's a yellow bike. It's a limited edition paint job. So it's custom doesn't actually help the value of your bike, but if it's limited from the factory, and it is, and it has a stage 2 upgrade, like engine upgrade, which means it's got better exhaust and a better air intake. The computer is updated, and it's got the engine is bored out. So yeah, it's a lot of very expensive upgrades. We had already signed the contract, and so when the dad showed up, he was not thrilled, but maybe they're scamming me. I don't think so though, because I looked at prices for them, so we did get a very good deal. It's a great bike. I am like talking forever. My point is, it's way too cold for that bike right now.
See, I knew how to.
You knew there was a point, right?
Well, I just knew that. Well, I was reading through the chat. I could just ask you a question, and you would wax on ad nauseum about things.
Just ask me about a motorcycle.
That's right.
That's all you have to do.
Totally. There you go. Anybody wants to know what to talk to Dave about at a con? Ask him about a motorcycle. He won't shut up.
Yeah.
The Art of Wade King says, Super Chat isn't working for me, but I wanted to say thanks so much for all the videos. I'm going to be an artist at Colorado Springs and hope to get a chance to thank you for all these great videos in person.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. That's something I'm looking forward to a lot this year. I managed to see Lance Boye in Toronto. I saw JDST in Toronto. I saw Box Office Artist there. James Riaz was there. And would it be nice to see some more of you guys? Some of you guys that are in the States. And I'll certainly be doing shows internationally soon, too. Relatively soon.
Gregory Murphy has a super chat for $5. Dave and Meredith, I wanted to say thanks for the inspiration. I just finished my first sequential page. Woo, woo! Thanks. That I just threw in the woo, woo.
Right, yeah.
Thanks for being specific about the Bristol board you use.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And I hope it turned out well. I'm sure there were, some heartache moments in there. There always are. I mean, there are things that will just surprise you if you haven't done it. And even if you've done it a lot of times, every page is different. Not every page. I mean, some pages can get a little bit kind of rote, but it's amazing how often I'll read a script and I'll think, wow, I have no idea how to draw this right now.
Ethan Thorne has a super chat for $4.99. Any thoughts on the Hubert School? I'm a junior in high school and I'm thinking about going there for college.
You know what? I think they're a phenomenal school. I think they have an incredible faculty there. So what I would say, and I'm hesitant a little bit only because a lot more people go into art programs than come out with work. And you need to be realistic about that and know that like Hubert School, I think there's no better environment. You'll learn everything you need to learn. They teach you truly everything. So you come out of that school, and not only could you draw comic pages, but you could also you could ink, you could color, you could work in animation, a lot of different things. It's very, very valuable education. But you can't go in there thinking, I want to get good marks. You have to go in there thinking, I want to be good enough to get good work. And those are not the same thing. I mean, getting good marks is great, but like you have to You have to strive to be the best in your class, and you don't want to go crazy and you know start making it personal with anybody or anything like that. But you really have to treat that time as professional work time and not as a chance to goof off, because people really do um, go into school, and especially I think in an arts program, they can be really valuable, and they can also be a real waste of money, and it's what you do with it.
So there.
So there.
You've been told, don't goof around. It's not for fun.
Well, they have Lee Weeks teaching there.
No, they do. They have a lot of people can get hired right out of there. You take it seriously. All right. Mark Maldonado wants to know, would you get a custom chopper from Paul Tuttle Jr.? Paul Jr. Tuttle?
No.
Hard no there.
Okay. Call me a weakling or whatever you want. I don't care. There's no way I'm riding around on a hardtail. And what that means is it has no rear suspension. That is not fun. And then you get those bikes with the open primary, and the primary has the I don't know how these bikes work really, but you have the belt that drives the wheel, and when that's open, if you catch your leg on it, you can saw your leg off on that thing. And people ride around with these just open. Like, what are you thinking? Don't spill that bike because you will lose a leg. Crazy. And no, I'll pass. It's not for me. I'm out to have a good time and be comfortable and enjoy a few tunes. Not,
not to rip your leg off.
Yeah. And a bike that you need a whole parking lot just to turn around, and yeah, no thanks.
There you go. Story by Osmosis. Nobody really expected that answer. Story by Osmosis has a super chat for $10. Hey, Dave and Meredith. Good to see you. I just recovered from COVID, so I have to get my momentum back. Swamp Thing is looking great. What's one of your major influences for organic anatomy? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a few influences for organic anatomy. Kelly Jones is a very big one for me. Huge, actually. Frank Frazetta, Simon Bisley. I'd say probably Simon Bisley would be the biggest. And then I tend to go back and forth. Like, I really like, and a lot of the things that I started feeling like it was looking organic and I was starting to be happy with it were from Frazetta. And then I started looking at, do the same thing again.
Forget who you're talking about?
Yeah, no, I know who I'm talking about, and I know his art, and I can see it in front of me right now. I could practically draw you the cover of my favorite book of his. He did Bishop, the Mountjoy Crisis. Anyway, one of my absolute favorites. Carlos Pacheco. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, Carlos Pacheco, he's got a more stylized anatomy, but I found it really actually worked well with what I was trying to do with some of my other influences. And then I went through an Alan Davis phase. I've done that a couple of times. Yeah, I have a lot of phases with that stuff. So it's not like I can just say, hey, I'm looking at this particular person and that's where I'm going with my anatomy. It tends to be, I have an established anatomy and I want to try and slot this into it and see if it will work. And it sometimes can create chaos. For instance, one of my favorite things about Simon Bisley is the way he does his whole chest to stomach construction. And he does it the same way Frazetta does it. And I know a bunch of artists that do it that way. And I know I've talked about this before, but I had to make a decision. I want to be a comic artist, and comic artists do something that's much more like this. And that's where you have more of a rib cage that extends out and has, and you can see it here with Jim Lee's work. He's got that rib cage. This is, John Byrne would do it the same way. This is the traditional style in real human anatomy, the stomach kind of continues visually up to the chest much more, and you don't really see that as much. I like that style though, and I wanted to do comics. So, and I'm sure, and you can see that it's done the same way here. So Dan Moore is doing the same, and this is a choice that I'm sure he's had to make too, because that type of anatomy is not strictly anatomically correct, but it really works for a comic. So, yeah.
EJ says, I have to leave. We have a tornado warning. Good luck, EJ. Hope you're safe. Stay safe.
Absolutely. Good luck. Not good. Hopefully he's all right.
It is early in the season to be getting tornadoes.
Well, Eric,
I know he had one last time.
Yep. That was 2 weeks ago when
I was looking for Stormy.
Yeah, you bailed out 5 minutes before the stream.
Well, when you get the lead, you get the lead.
Yeah.
Eric Acronon 47 has a super chat for $5. Hey, Dave, how do you deal with artist block? Arachnon. Thank you. It's getting close to my bedtime.
How do I
deal with artist block? I've been struggling with it for over a year.
Draw. Sit down and draw. Yeah. Okay, look, I don't want to just be like, glib about it, but to a certain extent, artist block is something that happens when you allow it to happen. You can draw right now. And so if you're not drawing, you're making that choice. And I know it can be difficult to be motivated. But another thing, let me just recommend, I'm going to break some artist block for myself. Actually, there are two things. Number one, I get to a point where I just get burnt out. And I find the best thing for me to do when I'm burnt out is to just sit down, and I don't care how long it takes. I do the absolute best picture that I possibly can. I just put everything I have into it. And it might work and it might not, but I find I start losing interest when I feel like I'm not really getting anything out of the work. And what I enjoy most about this job is the ability to create, if not the greatest picture in the world, certainly the greatest I could create at the time. That helps. But if you've got artist block, I'm going to grab my pencil. And I'm just going to draw this Ghibli figure. Now, I would recommend just sit down for half an hour. And here's my chest. Don't try and make this nice, because that will, if you're really struggling with just sitting down and drawing, trying to draw a nice picture will not help with that. Here's my hand here. My head looks like it's placed about here. I find very common mistake I see. Here's my neck. Let me place the head, and I see this all the time. So something you guys might want to be aware of. I'll just throw this out there. If I draw the head here on top of the neck, my head is actually way too far over here. So my body is coming out this way, and that means my neck is also coming out this way. And you can't see the neck really that well, but the head is on top of the neck like this. And so your head actually, it needs to be shifted over. And that's why, a very common thing. So just throw that out there. But anyway, here's my other arm here. My hand's way too big, but I'm not worried about it because it can look like garbage. I mean, these are just quick sketches. Here's a leg. Here's the other leg. And this is just gesture drawing, And when you do it from somebody that is truly a master like Jim Lee, it can be very satisfying because you're taking stuff from people that know how to just make a beautiful figure that just has a lot of good feel to it. And I could draw the other figure. It really doesn't matter. The point is that if you spend a half an hour, and I could do the same thing with Dan Moore and stuff because his stuff is incredible. I could try and draw that figure and just fill a page doing this. It is stress-free, and it will get you drawing. And I really, really recommend it. If you're feeling, burnt out and you're really struggling with motivation, this will get your hand moving. Once your hand's moving, you're sitting down at the desk and you do this for a little bit, I think you'd be surprised. It will really have you drawing, hopefully. I certainly wish you the best.
Samuel Reyes has a super chat for $10. This is looking great. Really learning a lot on how to better render shapes. Oops, hold on. My screen flipped. When I ink my own stuff by watching you ink. My current influences are Walt Simonson and Sean Gordon Murphy.
I thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I think that's a great range of influences. Uh, Walt Simonson has such incredibly powerful figures. He's like the best of Jack Kirby and his own style, you know. And Sean Murphy is really and he's got such an incredible modern style. He does everything so well. His figures are so pleasing to look at. His inking style is great. I love how he does his backgrounds, some of his lighting. I think that you could copy everything that he does um, and be really well off. I don't think he has any weaknesses. He draws great cars too. I mean, I think it's funny to me that he's so known for drawing vehicles because he does it so well. I love his cars, of course, because they're done really well, but his figures are my favorite. I think he just has really, really great looking figures.
Dark Era New Vegas has a super chat for $5. What or who would you recommend for city and landscapes? The world I'm building is a huge part of my comic, and it's hard to find good reference/lessons.
Okay. It really depends on what you're talking about. And since I don't know, it makes it a little difficult.
Just like who's an artist you would recommend to learn how to draw cityscapes or landscapes from?
Brian Hitch. I would recommend that you get Stormwatch by Brian Hitch, and also get the Ultimates by Brian Hitch, and other stuff too. I mean, he did Fantastic Four. He's done a lot of stuff, and it's all great. But those are some of my favorites. And yeah, I think he's such a great combination of really strong Alan Davis influence, done really, really well. Photo reference for faces and some things, but not done in a way that takes away and takes you out of the story, which is very easy to do. And really incredible reference backgrounds that, again, don't just look referenced and take you out of the story. But yeah, I think you couldn't really do better than that off the top of my head. I would really recommend him. I think he's great. If you want something that's darker and a little more moody, and maybe a little bit more design oriented, Sean Murphy is a phenomenal choice for that. He's great. Frank Miller, a much simpler kind of a style, very graphic, but it's also great. I recommend Eduardo Rizzo, very similar to Frank Miller in a lot of ways, but much more dynamic with the camera. And so you get some really, really interesting background shots. And so I'd recommend that too. It's a range of styles with those people, but hopefully one of those will kind of give you, what you're looking for. And that is going to be it for today.
Oh, hold on, we got another super chat.
Okay.
Jim Klein has a super chat for $10. Jim says, "Hey, Dave Meredith, I hope all is well with you guys. Dave, would you ever consider drawing Wolverine versus the Juggernaut for the stream sometimes? And also, had to join late. Is there any good news regarding your cat?"
Well, no, unfortunately, our friends found the cat about a week and a half after we had lost him, and they found him right by our house, actually on our property,
The day he was hit.
and we had searched there several times. He's been everywhere, and he was close. I don't know if he was coming back home or not, but yeah, he was hit by a car, and so we lost him, unfortunately. And yeah, Wolverine versus Juggernaut would be a blast. I'd certainly love to do that. So absolutely.
All right. And the very last super chat of the night goes to Vince Rushart for $1.99. Hey, Dave, have you ever seen Mina Sundberg's work? MINNA.
Hold on. Sundberg's. No, I haven't. I'll check it out. Story by Osmosis says Jeff Darrow. That is a great choice. Hard boiled. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Rich Ware says Ron Garney. Another great choice. So yeah, There are a lot of great ones out there, and I'll definitely check out. I'm gonna have to look again. It was Sandberg. Sorry, Sundberg. Mina Sundberg. Let me write that down. All right. And thank you everyone so much for coming and spending Monday night with us. We really appreciate it as always. It's been too long. I mean, we missed last week, and Meredith, you haven't done this. She was out searching for the cat. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Stormy, but
So
we gave it all we had.
Good to have you back, Meredith. You know, I mean, I see her every day, so you know.
But you miss me.
Yeah,
you love me.
Anyway, I have the file now for the next tutorial. It will be out tomorrow morning by noon. I try to get it the afternoon. So anyway, but it will be out tomorrow. It's on perspective. It's introduction to perspective. So it's all very simple, just using simple blocks, really breaking down how the horizon works, how your viewpoint works, all of that kind of thing to make it as absolutely clear as possible without confusing it with detail and you know, strange concepts. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and hopefully it's, you know, helpful for you. And
we have one more super chat, Dave, from Evan Smith for $9.99. Did you ever get a chance to work with the late Michael Turner? And then Dave's going to answer that question, and then we're going to say good night.
All right. I did. Yes. Now, I sat right beside Mike for years, and I was there his first day working in comics. You know, I remember when he came in the door. So, you know, I knew him really well, and I worked alongside him for a long time. The one time I actually worked with Mike, he was drawing an issue of Witchblade. He was behind. He was very good with schedule, so it was unusual, but he was so popular at the time that he was doing Wizard covers and a lot of different promotional things, and Top Cow really wanted him to do as much of that kind of stuff as possible because Witchblade was a big hit. And so I did a couple of backgrounds in an issue of Witchblade. I think Joe Benitez did some too. So there you go. That was, you know, as close as I got to working with him. Both of us being pencilers, it's not really something that happened too often. So yeah, all right. And thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And that's going to be it. We will see you guys next week. Tutorial tomorrow, I promise you. All right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.